Okay. Oh, our arch nemesis, Marseille, again. Round 2 of our newest Dragon League. Marseille is 3-0. We'll have to see how we do. We have a library on the play. Yeah, I think that's fine. He's usually on some bug nonsense, so a library doesn't hurt. If you haven't gotten the memo, I call most decks in vintage nonsense if they're not PO. Stop it, Matt. Come on, man. He's great, but that I agree. Marseille plays some type magic. God, all right. We're not on our library yet because we have to skill step that. You're not a mod. Am I a mod for? Oh my God, we are never being on library. I see where he's at. Little did he know, we had 2 skill steps. He successfully unlibraried us, though, so there's that. Skill step. Got him. I guess I should have gotten an island there, I think. Because he typically is a guy who will wasteland you. Do we want another skill step? Nah, we don't want it. Do we want another skill step? We do, to protect our ancestral that we're going to get, right? We don't have double blue next turn. I don't really think we want another skill step. Maybe we want a skill step and not... But we want a preordain. Like, we definitely want a preordain. I don't hate the idea of another skill step. He could play like Deathrite Shaman here. That would stop our Pyromancer. Let's take a skill step. Let's take a skill step. We'll really get him with the 3rd skill step. Got him. Oh boy. Just really dumb. Just really dumb. So let's try to find, see if we can't find another, Jesus. Okay. Yeah, I want both of these cards too. We'll keep both on top. We'll have Pyroblast backup, and then we'll snap Ancestral, or scroll Ancestral. It's close enough. We've certainly drawn pretty hot this game. Literally and figuratively. All right. So it's not exactly clear if Marseille is playing his bug deck or his maybe a PO deck. I don't believe he has a top in his bug deck, so it could be that he's on PO. We got to be careful with what we board in here and what we board out. I definitely think we want some Flusterstorms. I'm kind of down to remove the Lightning Bolts. I typically would, if we're not getting Wastelanded, I would like to go down an island for sure. And then let's bring in another Pyroblast. We'll leave in 1 Shattering Spree, seeing as we're not, since this top certainly rings a bell for something like a PO, but it's not guaranteed either, so. I think that's where I want to be. As you can see, for anyone joining us now and has previously been in our Niv Mizzet streams, we've cut all of the greatest thief in the multiverse. Thieving is great and all, but it doesn't help us cast dragon wizards, so we're on the full, I think full is the right word, the full three Sarkhan Firebloods now. And it's been reasonable. Like, you have 1 mode, Rummage, unless you have a Niv Mizzet, in which case you have cast Niv Mizzet, win the game. So that's two okay modes. And then if you're allowed to Rummage for like a year, you then make dragons and kill them. Because no one can remove 4 dragons. At least no one I've played against yet. Every time I've unleashed 4 dragons, it's been good enough. Even when they put a Grizzlebrand into play, 4 dragons was good enough, so. We got a Pyroblast, we have a Skill Step, which seemed pretty powerful last game, multiple cantrips, and our good friend Sarkin. Let's battle, for sure. So what are you going to lead off with this time? Yeah, that's unacceptable. It looks like Marseille is on PO this time. Oh, man. Wow. We know he had Skill Step in his own deck. I wonder what the best play here is. We have a lot of options. We can cantrip. We can hold up Pyroblast Ancestral. We can just fire off Ancestral. You're basically playing the same deck as me, Matt. It's not really great to fire off Ancestral here. The main problem with that line is that we're not a PO deck, so we can't really hope to draw into Moxen and then somehow skirt the 7 cards in our hand rule. But we could just pass holding up Pyroblast and Ancestral. Problem with that is if he passes back with 2 open blue mana, it's really hard to fire off Ancestral there. And if we don't draw a land, we're in pretty rough shape. I'm leaning towards, I think, Kraken Island, Krakatarn. I'm going to get a Volcanic again. I think I'm not going to play around Wasteland. I think we're going to just preordain, look for some more mana sources. Best ones being Sapphire and Ruby, but would take another mana of most kinds. Colored mana, preferably. Yeah, I'm down for both of these, actually. The Strip Mine could be useful. It's usually very good against PO. Especially if you can constrain their Moxen and Soul Rings. And then we definitely want the second blue mana. So we're gonna grab both of these. So we are opening up the window. We're giving him a 1-turn window. If he in fact goes Mox, PO, we're in trouble here. But it looks like we were rewarded for not playing our pass the turn line. So I'm pretty happy about that. We'll definitely pass the turn back here, though. No reason to play the stuff into open mana when we have Pyroblast Ancestral. So we'll hold on to the Strip Mine. We're going to see if he misses any land drops. If he misses a land drop, it's pretty easy to fire off a Strip Mine. And we can still hold up our current set of spells pretty well. So let's do it. Strip Mine your Underground Sea. Alright. So if he goes for a crack without playing another mana, that's our time to fire off Ancestral. Kind of awkward. So I feel like I wasted a turn there. There was some opportunity. There's like, we have 2. I feel like that was maybe a slight misstep on our part. I think it's time to cast this Ponder, though. We don't want to miss too many mana sources. I do kind of want a Force of Will, though. I don't really want these other cards that much. We can always Gush as well. Not right now, but I think I just want a Force of Will. I don't think we need to dig through time with having an Ancestral. So I think I'm going to keep the Force of Will, and then we'll fetch this away. So it's real rough. We don't have any skill steps in our hand, so it's going to be a little hard to resolve Ancestral. But we could theoretically float a blue or a red here, or probably a blue, and then Gush, and then get to replay a land. Kind of in for that, actually. Well, the downside to that is we'll probably have to discard a hand size again. Yeah, I think we're going to pass it back one more time. Next turn, if we don't draw a land, we'll definitely float some mana and Gush, and then we have a lot of options, so I would really like for him to make some plays so that we can, you know, counter something on his turn, but so we'll do blue, red, Gush. It's okay if we go over hand size here. We do have a deep analysis to pitch. So he's gonna Pyroblast this. I think I'm okay with that. If we had floated blue, I could cast Ancestral here and bait out a Flusterstorm. I did not. Don't want to run this Ancestral into his own Flusterstorm. I could technically Force of Will this Pyroblast, and then we can still play our own Flusterstorm pretty well. I actually don't mind that very much either. So I'm going to force, I'm going to pitch this scroll. We already have what we want from our scroll. So this is kind of a little bit of a bait for a Flusterstorm or his own Force of Will. If he cases his own Force of Will, we then have a Pyroblast. And if he plays his own Flusterstorm, then we have our own Flusterstorm. So I have to try to figure out how to get this to resolve correctly, which is going to be a challenge. Oh boy. So Flusterstorm targeting Gush, 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 and Gush. So all we need to do is counter each and every one of these Flusterstorms. So Flusterstorm targets Flusterstorm. Trigger on the stack. This Flusterstorm targets this copy. This targets this copy. This targets this copy. And this targets this copy. Counter. I might have countered my own Flusterstorm. I'd have no idea. Oh my god, I countered my own Flusterstorm again. God damn it. This is so stupid. Alright, so there's one. That one's targeting Gush. Alright, I countered my own Flusterstorm again. So I have to pay for this frickin' one. Oh my god, so stupid. Well, we no longer have Pyroblast back up, unfortunately. So we can't really beat a Force now. It's really not a huge deal, but it would have been a pretty big game. Okay, now we have an Ancestral, but we're not going to play Ancestral now, so I can't resolve a Flusterstorm correctly. It just is unbelievably hard. I don't get it. I just cannot resolve a Flusterstorm correctly. I think I'm like maybe 1 for 7 or something. It's a completely counterintuitive. I looked at where they were going. I don't know, man. So he has Pyroblast in his deck. So is he just playing Grixis Thieves? It seems like he's just playing Grixis Thieves. I'm just going to jam off this skill step here. We don't have to skill step there because we do have Shattering Spree, but I don't really want to invest my mana into Shattering Spree right now. Through as well. We're gonna look really stupid if he has another Pyroblast, and we could have saved it with our misstep. But yeah, maybe the misstep was really bad. I take it back. The misstep was a very bad play. So we're definitely just gonna jam this. It's unlikely he has anything that would counter this. And we now have a skill step and a library, so can't ask for much more than that. We currently are a little shields down. This is a wheel. Alright, we're wheeling. We lose our one of our Niv Mizzets, as well as a Deep Analysis, which is pretty high value. But he did draw 7, so he's certainly back in the game with that play. He still has more mana than us as well. We now have Snapcasters and all kinds of garbage, though. Let's make sure we still have fetchable lands. We have 2 volcanic, and we have plenty of fetchable lands still. Definitely don't have the mana to force anything crazy through here. We do want to play a Pyromancer at some point to start putting pressure, but I don't think it's right now. Seeing as we're on library, so if we can continue to not die, we'll be in a pretty good place. So let's draw with our library. Let's see if he tries to resolve a Notion Thief. You might try to resolve Notion Thief with Pyroblast backup. Alright. There was no thief. We're getting close to running out of fetchables, though. Just gotta keep it in mind so I don't end up fetching nothing. I'm definitely not going to fetch there because I don't want him to respond by playing a spell with my fetcher on the stack. It's pretty nice. I don't hate that. So we're still going to pass one more time here. I can just play this Petal out instead. And stay on library, which I kind of would like to do. I'm definitely looking for an opportunity to do some fetching. I think I'm going to do some fetching now. There's really no reason for us to need a fetch. We don't think we're going to be cantripping right now anyways, so I would rather draw less lands. So we have 1 fetchable land left in our deck, worth noting. Island Art's kind of cool. See if he'll make a play on his end step in response to library. Chooses not to. Go to our turn. We have a Sarkin. We have Deep Analysis. We have tons of options. I think it's just play a young Pyromancer. So he's going to mana drain it. We'll definitely respond by drawing a card because we're not gonna. This is a really nice opportunity to spell snare. I gotta make sure I don't use up too much of our mana. I'm gonna take this opportunity to spell snare though. I really want to make sure I get value out of it. This is a pretty decent, reasonable way. Ooh, has a misstep. So this is fine. No reason to go too overzealous over just a young Pyromancer. We do have to be careful. We can get off library this turn, but that's actually not the worst thing to get off library because we have 2 Deep Analysis in our yard, which don't cost a card and bring us back up 2 cards. So, this is a Yawgmoth's. I definitely don't want a Yawgmoth's resolving. It's a little unfortunate that Snapcaster is our only non-Flusterstorm blue card. What is in his yard? There's a Time Vault, a Tezzeret, a Cruise. It just sounds really bad for us if this resolves, so we'll force this. See what his follow-up is. Pyroblast. Looks like we're not going to be able to. So if I fluster, he can pay for it, but then he doesn't really have any plays in his yard. I don't think we Pyroblast for Storm, Matt. I don't think we need to do that. If we just fluster this, he has to pay 4 copies, and then all he can do is play a fetch land from his yard. That seems reasonable, right? Oh, I should definitely have targeted the Yawgmoth's Will. That was really bad. Well, let's see. I can still target 3 on here, so he has to pay 3 and 1 anyways, right? Probably 5. Why is Flusterstorm so hard? This is probably better. I don't know. Whatever. I don't care. I don't really want to think about it. Flusterstorm's making me mad. I'm not skilled enough to navigate Flusterstorm. Storm cards in general, we all know how bad I am at Storm cards, so... Alright, so he's now deciding what he wants to do. He still really does need to pay 4. But he could always... I guess it doesn't really change anything. So if he does play 4, he can like go for a cruise. Man, there you go. Cube Trophy Leader. Let's go. So what he'll do is he'll fetch and cruise, in which case we can Pyroblast. Is this better though, Matt? Because in this scenario, his Yawgmoth Will would get exiled. And most of his graveyard will be exiled with Cruise. And then he can't snap it either? I don't know if this is a better scenario or not. All I know is we are really in a decent spot because we do have these 2 deep analyses that got wheeled. So we can just draw for turn and then do a couple analyze a couple things deeply. And get right back on library. There's also still a Niv Mizzet in our deck, which is pretty nice. I liked your tweet on that, man. I'm having a lot of fun. This is what it must feel like to earn all your victories by playing a really bad deck. Like Jeskai Mentor. Or whatever it's called, Jeskai Xerox. Every match is probably like this, where you're like struggling to get the most of your garbage cards. That's fair. Like, you're allowed to be done. Like, play whatever interests you. Like, I'm still having a little bit of fun playing Vintage, and it will soon be... I'll at least be trying to get qualified for the format championship, so... Have you tried Eternal card game yet, Matt? I'm having a lot of fun playing Eternal as well. It's probably a little low. I don't know if you would like it. There's a lot of brewing. It's a lot about deck building. But I've been working pretty hard on Eternal, trying to get qualified for the World Championship there. I'll be playing one of their 5Ks next weekend. Hey, man. It sounds like you would really like Standard, then. I think Standard's quite good right now. Somehow... Yeah. If you like that part about Modern Cube, I think maybe you might like Eternal. And it's pretty free to play. You can just do dailies on your day off, and you get cards really fast. I mean, isn't that kind of cube? But I don't know, maybe not. So basically, we have an exiled Yawgmoth Will. We're gonna have an exiled Cruise and an exiled most of his graveyard. I'm pretty happy with the way this panned out. So we'll Pyroblast this, and we'll be in a pretty good place. That makes a lot of sense. What you're saying makes sense. Well, are we going to, you want to do a double stream when Yuriko comes out on the 5th? Oh, we had a misstep. Wow. We got skill steps so hard. So if we had taken the other line, the same thing still happens. Because he just uses the misstep to pay for one of our Flusterstorms. So the other line doesn't change anything here. So he's going to get the Ancestral. But it's really still not the worst. So if we cast both... If we cast both Deep Analysis, we will get back on Library. Though we don't get to play a Pyromancer first. I don't know how much value we need to extract from this Pyromancer. What do you think, Matt? Would you play a Pyromancer and just do one Deep Analysis? Am I missing something here? Pyromancer, Deep Analysis, play a land, Deep Analysis is, well, Pyromancer, Deep Analysis, no, we're still short there. Oh, is it wait to the Yuriko part? Okay. I think I'm gonna play this Pyromancer. I think we'll live without having Library for a turn. Oh, sorry. I don't either, but if you just Google Translate it, I'm pretty sure he's saying that, I'm pretty sure he's saying that Commander comes out on Magic Online soon. Can I just resolve this Sarkhan? Let's resolve a Sarkhan. I need to make red mana to resolve a Sarkhan. It's not a terrible draw, but he does have an opportunity here. His Time Vault is exiled, though, so we're in pretty good shape when it comes to that. I'm pretty sure it says Commander is coming online December 5th, which means it's finally time to play Yuriko, which I'm excited about. I'm down to do that in a double stream if you want. I don't know. I know you don't have a lot of time though, so. Man, how do people do it? They just always chain Ancestrals into each other. Alright, seems good. I should have just Deep Analysis. So bad. I got lured in by the Sarkhan. I really hope I draw my Niv Mizzet soon so I can win this game. It feels like I got punished so hard. I think it's my own fault. I'm pretty sure it's my own fault. A Mana Crypt here is a little dicey. I don't know if I would play Mana Crypt here. Would have preordained first. That makes sense. Well, then we can't play Sarkhan. Yeah, I think Sarkhan was like the third best choice. Which is pretty bad. I mean, I think if we don't die or something, we might still be okay. Yeah, I agree. Sarkhan's probably only good if we draw Niv Mizzet right now. No, I would have Deep Analysis and I would have hit Pyroblast. And then I would have been able to Pyroblast his Ancestral. Yeah, I agree. Is it a Flusterstorm? The Hardcast Force? Oh, it's a Notion Thief. I really should have saw that one coming. I really hope this doesn't get... Come on! No! No! I should have Sarkhan first to bait it. Oh my god. This is so stupid. Ugh. Oh, pretty frustrating. Hope this resolves. Is this gonna get forced? Holy crap, dude. I really just screwed this whole game up. It's really unreal. I hate this Grixis Thieves deck, dude. Every time I played it, it's just complete garbage, but it seems like everyone draws way better than I do, so. Sure. He forgot to target me with his deck Faden, which is nice. Even though I have nothing. Maybe he'll die to his own crypt. If he doesn't draw Tinker, he's gonna die to his own crypt, maybe. Jeez. Like, I literally cast one spell and lost the game because he just chained Ancestral. I think this deck's really good, so like, clearly I fucked up here, and I got punished immediately for it. I mean, obviously he drew extremely well, but like, this is literally how it feels to play every deck in Vintage that's not PO. Because you have to work so free. Did he just tutor for Time Walk? Oh, I'm dead. Okay. I'm gonna die before the crypt kills him. Ay, 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 ay. I just, like, I want all my Ancestrals to always draw another Ancestral. I just draw 3 lands. There you go, you figured it out. Preordained down. He didn't take damage there? No, he did take damage there, but we're gonna die before then unless we draw a Snapcaster or a Pyroblast right away. Oh, no, it can't be a Pyroblast. It has to be a Snapcaster that doesn't get countered. Or a Niv. No, Niv won't do it because of Jace. Much sadness. Maybe I will keep a Shattering Spree. I did keep a Shattering Spree in my deck. Okay. It's a terrible draw. Alright. Got completely punished for casting one spell wrong. Happens. Oh, I didn't think he was Thieves, so I didn't have any bolts in my deck. That's probably really bad. It definitely doesn't help. So we played what? Thieves round 1, and now we're playing Thieves again? Ooh. Oh man. Alright. We'll go to game 3. I think the 2 leagues that we 3-2'd with, like, obviously we had some cards in our deck that I didn't really want. But, those could easily have been 4-1s if I was playing better, and, like, same probably goes for here. This is not a great hand, but I don't think I'm gonna mulligan it. It's so weird that the Vintage is so powerful that the fair matchups you still keep in Force of Will. Kind of blows my mind. I actually, if Sori's still around, I played about 3 or 4 leagues with PO yesterday, off stream. I'm still trying to get the last qualifier points I need to play the Mox this weekend. I figured I would just try to get like a quick 5-0, 4-1 with PO. I was only able to manage 1 4-1 and 2 3s or 3 2s or something, so still hunting for the QPs. Might not be able to play in this Mox. Preordain. Oh, those are good ones. I want both of those. So we didn't draw any skill steps this game, so I'm sure he's just gonna go Island Ancestral himself. I definitely don't respect Notion Thief enough, though. It was a little rough. I didn't really want to pitch any of my cards to Sarkin, but I could have definitely gotten less punished. It really all just comes down to, instead of casting Preordain or Deep Analysis, like, it's probably Deep Analysis over Preordain, because he could easily have drawn a skill step off his Treasure Cruise. So I think we were still getting wrecked because no, we would have just countered the Ancestral. Unless he drew Forcible too. I am just jamming this guy in. I don't really want to fool around this game. That's a good. It's good that this resolved. I don't really have anything else now, but we have counter magic and lightning bolts and stuff, so put some pressure on him. Library is annoying. I'm gonna bolt him, actually. Doesn't look like I'm drawing cards. I kind of want this clock. And then if he, like, mana drains it or something, it's... Oh, my God, really? Ancestral? Alright, well... I'll force it. I'm gonna get flustered out of the room here, though. He of course, had the Ancestral that we were talking about, so... It looks like we are gonna get flustered out of the room. I'm gonna have to force this again. I guess one of these is probably gonna counter this lightning bolt, right? I guess he could put 2 on each. Right now he's only put, yeah, he put 2 on each. Kind of annoying. Alright, I'm out of spells. My clock is 4 turns, which is a little awkward. It's a terrible draw. I'm gonna hold it for now. So we're really kind of just hoping he doesn't have something like an EE in his deck, or like, I guess another Ancestral or something. Is it Dak Faden? Sure. I'm probably not attacking Dak Faden. That's not really the game plan here. I would really have liked to have cast a spell last turn. If I had drawn Preordain, it would have been accelerated the clock by a turn. Really unfortunate that I didn't. He didn't play any artifacts either, so there was nothing to Shattering Spree. So the way this line loses is if he aggressively Dax and finds Time Vault Key, which is about the only way this loses. I mean, he can find his Time Walk as well. Maybe we should kill this Dak. Does it change our clock? It doesn't change our clock to stop killing the Dak, right? If we attack him for 5, he goes to 7. 5, he goes to 2. He goes to 0. If we attack the Dak for 4, he goes to 11. He goes to... Yeah, it does. It changes the clock by 1. If we had one more elemental, maybe... No, then it would still change the clock by 1. If we can summon some more elementals next turn, then it makes killing Dak less bad. How many elementals would we need to summon for that to happen? Oh my god, really? So we hit him for 5. Goes to 7. The best we can do is 1 extra token with misstep. That's really bad. If we hit him for 4, 1 down to 11. Depends on if he fetches or not. Yeah. He's under no obligation to fetch. Unless he's trying to resolve Jace, which would change the clock as well. The thing that makes me afraid is if we leave Dak and he gets 3, he gets still get 6 more cards on his way to finding Vault Key. We have a misstep for Key, so that makes it a little less likely that he can Vault Key us. I'm gonna hit his face. I think I could regret it. I'm gonna hit his face. Okay. I should play Library so I can play around Fluster. No, I can never play around Fluster. So it will always be the 3rd spell. So, yeah, if he fetches and we misstep, then he drew Blightsteel again. He's drawn Blightsteel twice now. If he fetches and we misstep, we have a lethal attack this turn. Unless his play is Jace Bounce. I mean, we'd have to have a misstep for something, so. Misstep was like a pretty reasonable draw. Because the Library was the turn it really needed to be preordained. This turn, misstep was fine, because the preordain wasn't changing the clock. Well, the preordain still could have changed the clock, because right now we don't have lethal. What is this, a Yawgmoth's Will? That's fine. I mean, it's not fine. He's going to resolve an Ancestral. Well, he's not going to resolve an Ancestral. Well, if he tries to resolve an Ancestral, we kill him. So, I mean, he's gonna get a fetch back from his yard, and then maybe he's not gonna get a fetch back from his yard. This is really good for us. I'm pretty sure he's going to die now. So he has Flusterstorm, but we just made another token. So he now has to draw Lightning Bolt or Mox a Braid. So we're in pretty good shot. This is game 3 currently. We won game 1 pretty resoundingly. Game 2 was a really long Library game. He got to cast a wheel. And then I misplayed slightly. I sequenced poorly and ended up getting Ancestral Chained out of the game. So, yeah, he has to draw some kind of removal now or he's dead. You could go Lotus Time Walk. No. Oh my god. He could have a Braid. Which means that maybe I was supposed to Shattering Spree pre-combat. No. Wow. This deck is so sweet. I mean, it's just blue-red Xerox, but I don't know. Sarkhan's pretty cool. We haven't really. It's a good blue-red mirror, like not mirror breaker, but like playing against other like these other blue decks. Niv Mizzet's obviously really nuts against everything that's not Jace the Mind Sculptor.